Hello, grade 9s, and welcome to another economic and management science lesson. Right now, we're going to be dealing with sectors of the economy. Here we go. So, these are just some slides. Okay, funny story. I found these slides online. Okay, it was back when there was still COVID-19. Okay, a private school forgot to insert a pin on their Google Drive. So I found these slides and downloaded them. Okay. So in sectors of the economy, we will learn about entrepreneurship, right? Now there are three main business sectors, which is the primary sector, the secondary sector, as well as the tertiary sector. We'll also be discussing the types of businesses found in the three sectors. It's a mistake there. As well as the interrelationship of the three sectors, sustainable use of resources in the three sectors, as well as the role of the three sectors in the economy. As well as the types of skills required in each sector. Now, please note that, as I said, we have the primary sector, secondary sector, as well as the tertiary sector, right? So in the primary sector, examples of businesses in the primary sector are fishing, farming, hunting, forestry, as well as mining. It is important to note that the primary sector is comprised of mostly unskilled workers, such as those in poor countries. The secondary sector, for example, food and drink factories, textile factories, as well as clothing manufacturers, right? And it's important to note that the secondary sector is comprised mostly of semi-skilled workers. Now, the tertiary sector, it is the service sector. Okay, for example, schools, education, law firms, which is legal, travel agencies, which is travel and tourism, transportation, hospitals, which is healthcare, as well as banks, right? And the tertiary sector is comprised of skilled workers. Now, all the sectors are linked, and it is important to note that we need to use resources sustainably to maintain economic growth. If one sector collapses, there will be a negative effect on the other sectors. Well, it's mostly downstream. For example, if the primary sector collapses, guess what? The primary is the most important sector, not the tertiary, primary. Now, the primary sector, it is the economic sector in which businesses use land and natural resources as raw materials, right? The primary sector is the first layer of the economy. So, for example, fishing, which is a form of hunting sea life, farming, forestry, mining, as well as extracting oil and gas. Packing and processing raw materials. Well, they are in the primary sector, raw materials are actually extracted. So, please note that down. Hunting and gathering. Primary sector businesses. So it is important to note that farming and mining are the most important to a country. They are a major part of the economies of developing countries that are not industrialized. Now, the secondary sector, this is the sector in which people use raw materials from the primary sector to process or manufacture things people can use. So in the secondary sector, forgive me, raw materials are processed into finished goods. So businesses in the secondary sector are usually just outside the towns. These are mainly of factories. This is the second layer of the economy. And it's important to note that businesses use raw materials from the primary sector to process or manufacture things that people can use. These are mainly industries such as your construction, manufacturing. Yeah. Examples of secondary sector businesses are food and drink factories, textile factories, where clothes are made, as you can see, clothing manufacturers. Right, remember clothes are made of different materials. You have cotton, you have wool, you have nylon, you have polyester. Bottling plants. So here, for example, orange juice or mango juice, right? Remember, oranges and mangoes are not things that you can manufacture artificially. They come from nature. So they are processed here, they are squeezed, and then they are made into liquid form. Chemical plants. Yeah, this involves the generation of electricity and water. Remember, I mentioned construction. A car factory there. Tertiary sector. The tertiary sector is the economic sector in which businesses offer service to the public, right? The tertiary sector forms the third layer of the economy. They include retail businesses such as department stores like Edgar's, Jet, and Ackermans, which are all clothing stores. Electronic stores such as Hi-Fi Corporation, Game and Dion. Those are for devices. Small businesses are guest houses, hair salons, tour guide businesses, and individual doctors. So guest houses is hospitality, hair salon is beauty, tour guide is travel and tourism, individual doctor is healthcare. So these are just some of the businesses found in the tertiary sector. So schools for education services. So this is education. Hospitals for healthcare services. This is health. Banks for money management services. This is finance. Law firms and courts for legal services. This is legal department. Restaurant for food and drinks, right? So this is retail. Tourism for entertainment services. Remember, this is travel and tourism. Transportation services. This is actually travel. The previous one was tourism. Media services. So print media such as your newspapers, the internet, social medias, smartphone apps, databases, web shops, as well as multi-channel marketing. So remember, these are your types of production. Primary industries, farming, fishing, mining, and forestry. Secondary sectors is building, processing, manufacturing. Building is also another term for construction. Tertiary is services like transportation, banking, teaching, nursing, and police. Okay, you don't have to do this. I've compiled an activity for you, but I'll just show it. So the interrelationship between the sectors. So the primary sector sells raw material to the secondary sector. Raw materials are things that cannot be made by human beings. For example, green crops, such as, like I mentioned, mangoes and oranges. Okay, the secondary sector buys raw materials from the primary sector to manufacture. And then the secondary sector in turn sells manufactured goods or finished goods to the tertiary sector rather. Now, the tertiary sector sells the products that it bought from the secondary sector to the consumer. Okay. So I've already gone through this, right? So the three main business sectors are the primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. And as I've mentioned, although the business sectors function separately, they are still interconnected and interdependent. So, okay, we haven't discussed what the business sector is. A business sector is a subdivision or subset of the economic activities. Remember, the primary sector deals with the extraction of raw materials and natural resources. The secondary sector processes raw materials into finished goods. And the tertiary sector renders services to other businesses or renders auxiliary services. This is just greater information of what happens in each sector. So in the primary sector, it obtains natural resources from nature. Natural resources are then sold to the secondary sector as raw materials. So natural resources are things such as coal, oil, gold, trees, fish, and livestock, and they are extracted from the primary sector. Examples of businesses in the primary sector are mining. It can include coal mining, mineral mining such as diamond mining, as well as heavy metal mining such as platinum and gold mining. Fishing, agriculture which involves livestock and plants, as well as forestry. In the secondary sector converts raw materials into final goods for consumption by the consumers. And the secondary sector includes the manufacturing factories, construction and energy generation industries. Examples of secondary sector businesses are manufacturing industry, construction industry, generation of electricity, as well as the provision of water. The tertiary sector includes all industries that offer services to other businesses and consumers. It is also known as the service industry. So it includes services from transport to banking to legal to health to education, right? And examples of businesses in the tertiary sector are retailers, wholesalers, banks, insurance, transportation, tourism, as well as the hospitality industry. Please take this down. I modified it from the Western Cape Government Educational Guidelines. So number 1 states, list the 3 main business sectors. Remember, they are the primary sector, okay, the secondary sector, as well as the tertiary sector. Okay, I hope that's clear enough. Number 2 asks, which sector deals with the extraction of raw materials and natural resources? Remember, raw materials and natural resources is the primary sector. Okay. Number 3 asks, which sector processes raw materials into finished goods? Remember, processing is the secondary sector. Number 4 asks, which sector renders services to other businesses? Services to other businesses is the tertiary sector. Okay. Number 5 asks, which sector provides auxiliary services? Auxiliary means support. So which sector provides support services? Remember, it's the tertiary sector. Number 6 states, name the business sector to which each of the following occupation belongs. So 6.1 we have coal mining. Remember, mining belongs to the primary sector. Coal is a fossil fuel and fossil fuels cannot be made synthetically. 6.2 Budu Construction and Associates. The key word here is construction. So remember, construction belongs to the secondary sector. Six point three, Mpatsi Manufacturing and Partners. Remember, the keyword here is manufacturing, and remember, manufacturing belongs to the secondary sector. Six point four, Albert Mobile Retailers. The key word here is retailers. Remember, retailers belong to the tertiary sector. Six point five, Tshegofatso's wholesaler. The key word here is wholesaler. Remember, wholesalers belong to the tertiary sector. 6.6, Time Bank. Now, it's a real one. This is a bank, and banks belong to the tertiary sector. 6.7, Fishing. Remember, fishing is a form of hunting because you are hunting marine life, which is ocean life, so it's primary sector. 6.8, Poultry farming. For those who don't know, poultry, chickens, right? So chicken farming, remember farming and agriculture, primary sector. 6.9 forestry. Forestry, you're taking trees from nature, so it's primary sector. (6.10) Platinum mining. The key word here is mining. Remember, mining is the primary sector. Platinum is a heavy metal, right? 6.11 Energy Supply Commission of South Africa, ESCOM. This is electricity generation, and remember in that table electricity generation falls under the secondary sector. 6.12 Johannesburg Water. This provides water, right? Remember, electricity generation is always water supply or processing is secondary sector. 6.13 Nkoko Textile Factory. Factories belong to the secondary sector. 6.14 Rand Water. This is also water supply and processing, so it's the secondary sector. 6.15 First, for your insurance brokers. So remember, insurance belongs to the tertiary sector. 6.16 Gautrain. This is public transportation, right? So it belongs to the tertiary sector. 6.17 Modise Pharmaceuticals. This is pharmaceuticals is under healthcare, so this is tertiary sector. 6.18 Mahlanya Holdings Legal Consultants. This is legal, it suggests it's a law firm, and remember, legal falls under tertiary sector. 6.19 Agnes's Tuck Shop. Remember, tuck shops and wholesalers and all those fall under the tertiary sector. I hope that makes sense. 6.20 Green Vegetable Growers and Company. So the name suggests that this company grows green vegetables, right? So this is something that you can do naturally. So unfortunately, it is the primary sector. 6.21 Gold mining. Mining belongs to the primary sector. Remember, gold is a heavy metal, right? Used to make jewelry and stuff. 6.22 Ketiwe's Jewelry Store. Now, the jewelry store sells the finished product, right? So this is the tertiary sector. 6.23, boikanyo, manicure and pedicure. So this is the beauty industry. Manicure deals with nails on the hands, pedicure deals with toenails. So this is tertiary sector. .24, city power. Remember, city power deals with electricity generation. So this is the secondary. Usually electricity supply. Secondary sector. 6.25, Naledi police station. Police stations offers a service to the public. So remember, the service industry is the tertiary sector. Number 7 states, name the 4 factors of production. You should know them. When it speaks of the 4 factors of production, you should know the acronym CEL. So C stands for capital, E stands for entrepreneurship, okay, I hope that's clear enough. The first L stands for labor, and then the last one stands for land. You need to know the remuneration of each factor of production. For example, land produces rent, okay, because in order to use the land that you may own, people must first rent it from you. Okay, if you found this video helpful in any way, please click the like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again.